Hello, everybody. William here from Advanced Advisory Services. So, you're thinking about doing business in the US. Well, before you move forward, here are 10 key considerations that we see come up most frequently with our clients who are considering doing business in the United States for the first time. So, let's dive right in. Advanced planning and strategic alignment is our starting point. Have you clearly defined your objectives? We make sure that clients begin by evaluating how the US markets fit in with their broader international and domestic strategies. Why enter the US now? And with which products and services? How does this align with your long-term goals? Then we have to think about market fit and adaptation. You have to understand the problems that your products or services will solve for US buyers. It might be price, it might be specification, it might be something else. And you need to determine whether your product or service lines need adjustment in order to meet local US preferences. Start by conducting some strategic planning, followed up with real-time market research. And this can reveal crucial consumer and business-to-business insights. Don't be like General Motors and market a car called a Nova in Latin America. For those of you that don't speak Spanish, Nova roughly translates to mean don't go or won't go. Hardly a good marketing move when introducing a new car to a market, don't you think? Okay, no more humor. Let's turn to financial readiness. Expanding into the US often requires more time and capital than initially projected. So, confirm that you have adequate funding to support the venture beyond that which you initially planned. If you can confidently address all these points, you're off to a strong start. Okay, let's move to number 2, legal structure and registration. It's crucial to start by determining whether you even need a US legal entity. More simple scenarios might not require it. If, however, a US entity is appropriate, choosing the right structure, LLC, corporation, partnership, trust, is a critical first step. And as you may know, each US state has its own legal nuances, and this includes corporate and business entities and laws. Understanding their advantages and disadvantages will help you select a location best suited for your business needs. Number 3, compliance with regulations. The US operates under federal, state, and local regulations. Indeed, your particular industry may face additional oversights. So, be prepared to obtain various licenses, permits, and registrations in advance. And compliance here is really non-negotiable, and you'd be wise to seek out expert guidance that can help you navigate the paperwork efficiently. Next up, cultural considerations. We'll start with relationship building. In the US, trust and credibility are built through networking, transparent communication, and performance. It's often not just about what you know, but also about who you know. So give advanced thought to the networking modalities that you will want to pursue. And you'll need to learn US negotiation techniques, business etiquette, and marketing approaches so you can foster strong connection with prospects and customers and reduce misunderstandings. Number 5, finance and banking. As said earlier, confirm you have the necessary financial support before diving in. Make sure you bake in plenty of extra fiscal padding just in case things take longer and cost more than you originally thought. Now, you're likely to need a US bank account, and opening a US bank account can often be a bit complex and burdensome. So you'll want to understand those requirements early on so that you're not delayed in getting money into the US, receiving money from customers, and repatriating funds back to your country. Also, you might want to explore local lenders, local investors, and local government incentives to strengthen your financial position. Now let's move to everybody's least favorite subject, taxation. It's critical that you understand the US tax system. Gaining insight into federal, state, and local tax obligations is absolutely critical to making sure that you remain compliant, but don't pay more than you need to. You'll need to be aware of income tax, sales tax, and payroll tax obligations. And an important consideration is whether your country has a bilateral tax treaty with the US. And if so, do you have professionals in your country that understand such treaties and can advise you accordingly? Now, the US taxing authorities are very strict, so you'll want to avoid penalties by ensuring proper tax preparation and timely compliance by submitting all forms before the deadlines. Put simply, early planning here pays off. Speaking of early planning, intellectual property protection is something you'll want to give advanced consideration to. Proactive protection to secure your trademarks, your patents, your copyrights, your confidential and proprietary information is critical before you enter the US markets, because early IP registration can prevent costly disputes and strengthen your competitive position. Indeed, you'll also want to make sure that any contracts you enter into also reference the protection of your intellectual property rights. Okay, let's move to hiring practices, particularly labor law compliance. Does going operational require you to have people on the ground in the US? If so, you'll want to be aware of US labor regulations because they likely differ from those in your country. You want to stay informed about wage laws, mandatory benefits, voluntary benefits, and anti-discrimination policies. And if your strategy involves US-based staffing, having the right HR framework is essential. Number 9, US-based sales team. A US-based sales team can engage directly with prospects in real time and offer personalized service and foster trust, all of which will help expedite closing sales with your prospects. So, knowledgeable local representatives can adapt to customer preferences, improve response times, and enhance your overall competitiveness. So it's a good idea to consider setting up a US-based sales team in advance of going operational. And finally, speed and responsiveness. The US is a very agile environment. The market moves quickly, and as you go operational, you'll need to make timely decisions, respond promptly to inquiries, and communicate professionally with prospects and customers alike. And of equal importance is that you'll want to stay ahead of your competition by rapidly adjusting and efficiently updating your operations so that you can stay ahead in a fast-paced environment. Your operational roadmap will continually evolve, and you want to be setting the pace, not chasing your competitors. So, in conclusion, while the US presents significant opportunities, success in this market requires careful advanced planning, adherence to local norms, laws, and customs, and strong operational support. By addressing these considerations, along with others we didn't have time to get to today, and by potentially seeking guidance from a US-based consulting firm on pre-market entry, on going live, and in relation to ongoing operational business, you can navigate challenges more effectively and lay a solid foundation for growth and profitability in the US market. Well, I hope this has been useful for you. Thanks for your time and good day.